Hello everybody. Just wanted to do a demo on a new board that I developed specifically aimed at the 1200 XL. It's called the TKII, oops I got this up there now. It's called the TKII-PB1200, and it not only allows for a PS2 keyboard to be used with the system like most all my other TKII boards are designed for, but this one also specifically has broken out right here through this header. It's broken out singles to actually bank select a couple of EEPROMs in the system. Each EEPROM being 32K, and the first EEPROM being the OS actually holds two different OS versions, 16K each. And then the other EEPROM holds 4 different 8K languages, applications, games, whatever you want to put on there actually. So what you're seeing right now is we're in basic Rev C, and I've got that assigned to the very first bank or first slot of the language EEPROM. And the way you change from one slot to the next is you just use F1 through F4. So F1 is actually assigned to basic Rev C. If I push F2, we'll basically change over to Altera Basic, as you can see here. And if I push F3, then we'll change to Assembler Editor. And F4, well, thanks to a buddy of mine on Atari Age, we now have SpeedScript that can be incorporated into a ROM. This, by the way, will also work on the Ultimate 1 Meg in one of its slots as well, which I think is pretty cool. So, and then if we push F1, we'll go back to the very first selection in that EEPROM, which is the basic Rev C. Now, if you want to get to the second OS, which in this, well, the first OS on this particular setup right now is a patched version of the XL/XE OS, patched for high-speed SIO. But if I want to go to just a completely stock one, well, that's in my secondary part of the EEPROM, and all I have to do is just hold Shift and press any one of the slot selections. So if I go like that, we're going to go back to basic Rev C, but we're going to be doing that under the completely stock normal speed OS. In fact, you can see here that LED L2 just went out. Now, L1 and L2 are no longer assigned to the normal functions of a 1200. The main reason for that is that I also installed a Rambo XL 256K memory upgrade into the system, and it basically took over the 2 bits that were originally assigned to those LEDs. So I thought, well, why not use them for something else? So I've got L1 set to show whether we have a slot selected or a cartridge plugged in, and L2 will show us which OS is in play, with the primary one showing a lit version of L2, and the secondary one being non-lit, as you can see right now. So just to show you, if I don't use Shift and I just press F1 again, you'll see that L2 came back on at that point. So it's letting us know that, yeah, we're basically in the first bank of that OS ROM. Now, if you want to boot without any slot selected, all you gotta do, and this is just like being on a standard 800 XL or an XE, you would hold Option, and in this case, either F1 through F4, it does not matter. Just push that, and then let go of Option. You can see that L1 went out. It's telling you that we have no slot selected, and you can see here that we dropped into the self-test mode. Just a little bit more background on this. I did go into this quite a bit in my blog, but this system basically is pretty much an 800 XL at this point. It has the 800 XL MMU in it, and it's been rewired to basically allow for running, like an independent ROM chip for where BASIC would go. In this case, I just got a ROM that's 4 times as big as what was required. Hence the reason that we have 4 different languages available. And I also went with twice the size of the ROM as an EEPROM for the OS. So that's why we have dual OS capability as well. So as you can see, all this stuff works from the 1200. You don't need to have a PS2 keyboard to make this work. That's completely optional. Although on this system, I do have the PS2 keyboard jack installed, and I do have this PS2 keyboard over here hooked up. And to do the same basic functions as far as selecting different slots, different OS, it's pretty much the same, except you hit Alt and F1 through F4. And if you want to go for the secondary OS instead of the primary OS, you would hit Alt, Shift F1 through F4. The biggest difference is between this and the 1200 is that if you want to boot up with no slots selected, excuse me, I got kind of a cold here, then what you do is you do Alt Escape, and it'll essentially do that for you. There'll be no slots. And so, in fact, if we do that right now, we can go back here. We should come right back up to the same place that we were. Yep. Okay. So you can see that no slots selected. L1 is off, and we had the self-test video that came back up. So that's pretty much it. I hope you found this video informative, interesting, whatever. And thank you all for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.